Sometimes it is inevitable to fall in the noble and selfish act of extolling our opponent. Chapter 10: Contradiction and Conflict. Final boss? Continue. In this chapter, I show my internal battle. These portraits present the act of facing the insecurities, the guilt, the fear, and other negative thoughts that create obstacles that prevent me from reaching my goals. I appear standing against myself, recognizing that having these ideas and allowing them to affect me is my own responsibility. One of the portraits is titled Final Boss, and the other is titled Continue, posing the question of continuing or not, having the end of the project in sight. The image clearly shows the confrontation and the tension in the narrative of the piece. Both figures appear with the health and power bars on the same levels, making it known that I have as much probability to succeed as I have to fail, with the timer adding pressure of having to do everything on time. In the previous chapter, we also have a painting that shows choosing from different options, taking into account the available paths. In this painting, paths are crossed and there is an imminent confrontation with that which prevents us from moving forward. There is an evident contrast between the figures. One wears black clothes and the other wears white, simulating chess pieces. This is a payoff to the chessboard floor in the painting Careful What You Wish For from chapter 2. That is a chapter that exists in symmetry with this chapter. Also, the image in the painting replicates a video game format that again connects it to chapter 2. In Toy Chiquito, the narrative of the painting is based on a movie. In this painting, the black bars give the image a cinematic aspect, also emulating a screen. The meaning of this painting can be interpreted as people having a good and bad side, or more generally, that in every person there is a chance of having ideas or committing acts that go against what we believe we are. This was originally meant to be the last painting of the project. However, its content was too inconclusive for an ending. Although this remains the climax of my identity conflict, there is a final chapter to give the narrative the closure it deserves. Borders. All paintings are unframed. Each canvas has a specific treatment to its borders. Some continue the image in the frontal plane. Some have a border that complements or contrasts with the tones and colors used in the portraits, and others have a simulated painted frame. For example, in this painting, the borders are painted in the color of the flags of the represented countries. In this one, we see a painted frame that separates the portraits. And here we have a painting with black borders and stripes that simulate a screen. The paintings, despite not being framed, are self-contained. Adding a frame would create a more pronounced and abrupt separation between the narrative of the paintings, and that's why I decided to leave them like this. For this painting, I took photos in combat poses with two different outfits. But since I didn't have enough white garments, I edited the colors and tones digitally to make it work. For the background, I used a photo taken in Mexico that shows a cobbled road with an open environment and a cloudy sky. This photo had a symmetry to it and had a dramatic atmosphere that would combine well with the narrative of the piece. but without distracting elements that would take away from the interaction of the figures. I followed the process of transferring the drawing with a grid, and then began blocking out areas with paint, this time without underpainting, taking advantage of the brightness of the white canvas to have more vibrant colors. Working on a 10 by 10 inch canvas, it was a challenge to make everything look accurate. This was the smallest painting in the main line of the project, despite it representing one of the biggest concepts, which is fighting myself and facing my situation in my journey of finding my identity. I am writing this with my left hand, because my handwriting with my right hand is too pretty. I am writing this with my right hand, because my handwriting with my left hand is too ugly.